Okay, let's take some questions from Malpa in Abuja. Malpa.
Well, that might not sit well with some people, Mr. Clarke, because of how this has all panned out. It's very sad that we're talking about pension funds. These were funds that were meant to pay people who have worked in their old age. Nevertheless, what have you made? How do you reconcile the testimony of the Attorney General of the Federation, Bubakar Malami, and the testimony now that we're hearing from Mr. Maina?
With the greatest respect, as a lawyer, I do not comment unless I'm seized of all the facts in the case. It will be very difficult for me to lay blame on one side or the other. So you give me that advantage that I'm not seized of all the facts. But to be honest with you, what is happening in Nigeria today from this particular incident is sickening. And all of us, you and I, we must find a way to stop this type of things.
What do you find, what would you say is most annoying or, yes, about the entire scenario? Do you find it, upsetting, maybe that's the word I should use, a little upsetting in the entire scenario? We heard that Mr. Maina had asked to see the Attorney General of the Federation somewhere in Dubai, and that the Attorney General of the Federation went with the permission and the know of the National Security Advisor. And it was after that meeting that we saw all of these other actions of Mr. Maina's reinstatement happening here in Nigeria. But shortly after, we also saw the scandal that created and the president ordering the immediate sack of Mr. Maina. What do you think transpired in all that we've heard? Because we also heard from the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Maina being involved. He says he was involved in a syndicate which involves highly placed people. He talked about legislators as well. We do not know where the rest of the people are. Mr. Maina himself was involved in that as well. For you, when you want to sort out the threads, when you want to untangle this ball we seem to be seeing here, this ball of thread, how you pulling apart the pieces? How is it coming up for you?
Let me be honest with you, and let me be honest with Nigerians. When you get to the situation we are in this country today, government must be able to detach itself from the process of investigation. They must, if they want to get a realistic result, make sure that the investigation in Maina's case is done from a group of Nigerians who have created a record that nobody will doubt the sincerity of whatever they say. Let me give you an example. The $34 million that was discovered. Between you and I am not satisfied with the way government has handled it. Let's be honest about it. Government did it in a hush-hush manner. We don't know who took the money. We don't know this, we don't know that. And it's because the government itself is getting involved. Now, my advice to President Buhari is this: let him detach the executive. Let him detach the agencies that are being used by government in investigation. Let these agencies be witnesses in a commission where Magu will be in the box, a lawyer will be able to cross-examine him effectively, and will get the truth. Where the NIA man will be there, where Maina will be there, and we will be able to cross, because most of the credible evidence you get in law is from cross-examinations. The truth in any matter comes. Let me give you an example. I was privileged to be in this late Justice Ademola's case. This matter came up there. A witness was brought by government on this pension matter with his wife, and was virtually crying in the witness box, claiming that he was a mere whistleblower, and he's the one government was bringing to come and, That was then, it was so painful. I nearly wept. I asked him a question. What do you think is the fate of Nigerians? People like me, who is 80 years old, depending on pension fund, and at my age, I cannot get my money. My advice, to be honest with you, the government should be bold enough now, pick up a group of 12 Nigerians who are very knowledgeable in every aspect of life, not merely lawyers, but put a lawyer as the chairman of that panel. Let all the people involved in this saga be brought forward to give evidence so that the truth will come out.
Mr. Clarke, I was going to ask you the question that has to do with Mr. Maina asking to speak to the president himself. What does that say of the agencies that are supposed or are fighting this corruption war? Indeed, all the agencies, the EFCC, the police, and the ICPC. What does it say? Is it that they are contaminated and it will have to be the president alone that can help to sort out this mess?
Look, if you listen to me properly, corruption per se, there are two ways you can look at it. Any Nigerian who has ethnicity and religion in its background of thinking will be corrupt. There is nothing that happens in Nigeria today once you bring in ethnicity or you allow religion to creep into it. Even if you bring the Pope to Nigeria to be chairman of that committee, he will be influenced by those two factors. The bane of corruption in Nigeria today is based on those two factors, ethnicity and religion. So, if you want Nigeria to be free of corruption, you have to remove from the life of average Nigeria the thought that I belong to this ethnic group. What makes America great today is that even though ethnicity plays a very vital part in America, but when it comes to the question of the pillars of democracy, they are not found wanting. The black man in America today gets behind the blackness of his color to gain advantages. Let me give you an example. There is a quota system in America. Many people don't know it. The banks are enjoined to have a particular number of black people who must be in the establishment. In my younger days, I had a girlfriend who was working in the bank. She would not go to work. And then I will ask her, aren't you going to work? He says, nobody will sack me, because if they sack me, the law says they must get a better black girl than me. So they prefer to keep me, the devil they know, than go. So the system can be played with anywhere. It's been played. But the difference in governance is that you must make sure that the institution of democracy are strengthened. I listened to one governor yesterday, maybe from Kwara State. I've been carrying this slogan for the past 20 years in Nigeria, that there is no difference between the military governance and the civilian governance we have in Nigeria. We don't have democracy. The military will come, they will rule us in their own manner, unitary form of system. The civilians will come, they rule us in, going to the ballot box. But politics is determined by religion and ethnicity. You can't run away from it from Nigeria. So if you make sure that the institution of governance, now your question is, which of these agencies? All the agencies, but I give kudos to Mangu. Let me be honest, I have criticized him here many times, but what I'm seeing coming out from the FCC today, I am proud of it. But I'm not saying it's the best, policing organization we have. But the problem is somebody can pull a button up there and say, stop that investigation. And he has to stop it. It's happening. Can President Trump today stop what is happening in this Russian saga? He cannot, even though he's the president. But tell me anywhere in these banana republics we have all over the world, the president will stop it. These are the things strengthen the institution of governance so that the police will be independent. This one will be independent. This one will be independent. But that is not what is happening in Nigeria. Tom, Dick, and Harry